The jeers echo across every open channel. Alien captains laugh on a live holofeed. Their faces filled the screens in the human scout ship. Some clap, some pretend to cry fake tears. One voice is the loudest, rich with pride and poison. It belongs to Admiral Vec of the Coalition. "Look at Earth's scrap metal," he says. "A rusted museum. A dead toy." The crowd behind him cheers like a game has started. Captain Rhea Cole does not answer. She stands at the front window of the small human shuttle and looks at the dark graveyard ahead. Broken ships drift around a dead moon. Hulks, ribs, torn armor. No lights, no heat. The place feels like a cold sea after a storm. In the middle of that sea, one hull is not broken. It is huge, black, smooth, and quiet. No scars. Old Terran letters mark its side, AEGI SO9. Ensign Tariq sits at sensors. He is young and careful. His eyes move fast over numbers and small graphs. No active power, he says. But there is a rhythm, like a very slow pulse. It repeats every 40 seconds, very faint. He looks at Rhea. "Ma'am, the ship might not be dead." Rhea nods once. "We board." She keeps her voice calm, simple, steady. The team checks suits and tools. A clamp connects the shuttle to a side airlock. They push into a cold passage. Their boots click on metal. Dust floats like grey snow. There are no bodies, no bones, no signs of a fight. The walls are clean. That is strange. The ship looks asleep, not ruined, on the open. Channel Vec keeps talking. "Humans love old stories," he says. "Let them keep this one as a relic. We will parade our ships around it." Laughter follows. Coalition frigates fly in a slow ring outside the graveyard, like birds around a whale. Arm the parade fireworks. Someone jokes. Another voice says, "Make them jump." Rhea mutes the jeers inside her helmet. Noise is not useful. She holds a small slate that shows a simple map of the corridor. A gentle arrow guides them forward. The path curves and slopes. The air is thin. The temperature is low, but even. It feels like the ship keeps a tiny warmth, just enough to wait. They reach a tall door with thick hinges. It is the bridge door. It stands half open, as if someone left in a hurry long ago. Rhea pushes and it slides with a dry sigh. The bridge is wide and empty. Chairs sit neat around a central ring. The windows are black. The consoles show dead glass. The air smells like old metal and nothing else. Tariq freezes. "Do you hear that?" he whispers. At first they hear only their own breath. Then the sound appears. It is soft and slow, like a heartbeat through a wall. Thump, 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 every 40 seconds. The same rhythm from the sensors. It comes from under the floor at the center ring. Is a stand with a hand plate. It is smooth steel with a shallow shape for a palm. Beside it is a small plaque, scratched but clear. Command authorization, human only. Rhea looks at her team. "We follow protocol," she says. "We try power up only if we control shields. We fire only if fired upon." Her people nod. They trust her. They know she keeps her promises, even under pressure. She removes one glove and places her hand on the plate. For a breath, nothing. Then a needle pricks her skin. It is like a sting from a cold bee. The plate drinks a drop of blood. The deck hums. Thin blue lines bloom, race along the floor, and rise like veins up the walls. The windows crackle with static and then clear. To show the stars, one by one, consoles wake and blink. The ship takes a slow breath. The heartbeat becomes a soft, steady tone. A voice fills the bridge. It is calm. It is exact. It is not loud. Terran asset AEGIS-09 online, the voice says. Identify commander. Rhea does not rush. Captain Rhea Cole, Human Navy, Clearance 6. She keeps her tone firm and respectful. We request defensive shields, life support, and safe exit path. DNA sample matches human. The voice replies. Clearance level inadequate. Provisional command granted. Defensive protocols armed. Shields at 20%. Life support nominal. Lights glow along the ceiling. Air grows warmer. The dust settles slowly to the floor as if the ship is smoothing its own surface. Tariq laughs once, a short sound of relief and shock. It's alive, he says, then corrects himself. Online, it is online. Outside, the jeers rise again as the coalition ships see the lights turning on. The open channel floods with jokes, orders, whistles. Admiral Vek's voice cuts through. How cute, he says. The museum remembers its name. He drops his tone. Bring the parade closer. Arm all batteries with practice charges. Another voice answers, excited. And cruel, I, Admiral. Rhea opens a general channel. She does not yell. This is Captain Rhea Cole. We request safe passage. We will not fire. We will leave the graveyard now. She lets the words sit on the air. She means them. She hopes it matters. Vek answers with honey and knives. Captain, he says, we accept your exit after a friendly salute. Markers blink on the window. 20 ships locked target lines on AEGIS-09. Practice charges only, Vek says to his own crew, but he does not mute the channel, just to show our guests the proper way to respect a relic. Tariq's hands shake over. His console numbers scroll. He frowns. Ma'am, he says, these are not practice charges. Power levels are lethal. If they fire, the shields will not hold at 20%. Rhea lifts her chin. Aegis, raise shields as high as possible. No weapons. We do not escalate. Shields. At 45%, the AI says. Advisory. Hostile targeting confirmed. Under Terran rules of defense, return fire is allowed after hostile fire. Rhea's heart beats once, slow and heavy. She thinks of the human relief convoy on the far side of the moon. They carry food and medicine, families, children. She thinks of the ring of ships outside, all bright lines and loud voices. She thinks of the black calm of the bridge and the steady voice of an old guardian waiting for orders. Hold, she says. Do not fire unless fired upon. The countdown on Tariq's screen hits 0. Light leaps from the coalition ring. The first volley is bright and fast. It is not a soft salute. It is a storm. The impacts strike the fresh shields and splash in waves of white. Alarms bark. The bridge shakes. Metal complains in a low groan, like a giant waking with sore bones. Shields at 31%, Aegis reports. The voice is still calm. Hostile act confirmed. Terran rules allow one answering shot. Rhea grips the rail. She feels heat under her palm where the ship's veins glow. She wants to wait. She wants to try one more call, one more plea. She opens her mouth. Another volley hits. The lights flicker Tariq bites his lip. He speaks fast now. They will break us on the third volley, ma'am. Rhea closes her eyes for a moment and sees the convoy, the children, the future that dies. If she keeps waiting, she opens her eyes. Aegis, she says, one shot. Only one. End the fire. Affirmed, says the AI. On the front window, a feed shows the long spine of the ancient main gun turning. The barrel aligns with the stars. Dust slides off the casing in a thin silver fall. The hum grows low and deep, like a storm under the floor. Outside, the ring of ships keeps firing, bright and sure, still laughing on open comes. The main gun charges, asterisk, asterisk. The main gun hums like thunder under ice. The barrel locks on a point no one else can see. For a breath, space is quiet. Then the shot goes. It is not bright. It is not loud. It is a dark spear that slips into the black. Halfway to the ring of ships, the spear splits. It becomes a cloud of tiny smart shards, each with a task, each with a path, each with a memory of human wars long ago. The first coalition cruiser does not explode. It simply stops. The second turns into drifting pieces that keep their shape for 2 strange seconds and then fall apart like ash. 3 more ships go blind at once. Their bridges lose power, and the crews sit in the blue glow of emergency lights, very small in a very wide sea. The jeers on open comes die in the same second. Silence rushes in. Even the stars feel louder. A single answering round complete, Aegis says. The voice is calm, almost gentle. Recommend ceasefire. Rhea breathes out. Open all channels. She keeps her tone steady. This is Captain Rhea Cole. We will not fire again. We request safe passage for all human vessels in this sector, including the relief convoy behind the moon. Stand down and we all live. For a long moment, nothing. Then Admiral Vex's voice returns, tight and hot. You broke our ships with a trick, he says. Bring the fleet. Dots bloom on Tariq's scope like a sickness. Jump, flashes flare. 1, 10, 50, 100. More heavy hulls with long names and proud colors. The coalition fleet arrives in layers, like a storm. Pulled from deep water, battle lines form. New captains speak in clipped tones. Old captains whisper to each other with fear tucked behind their words. Shields to 60%, Rhea orders. Show we are ready, not eager. 63, Aegis replies. I can add armor heat sinks if we fire the auxiliary vents. Do it, Rhea says. VEK appears on a wide screen at the edge of the bridge. His eyes shine hard. Behind him, aides move like shadows. Terran Captain, he says, you had your page in the museum. Now the book closes. Surrender your relic and your crew. Rhea looks straight at the camera. We asked for peace and safe passage. We hit back only after your fire. There are civilians here. She shows a small window, the relief convoy behind. The moon-blocky freighters, old shuttles, a school ship painted with bright handprints. Vec tilts his head. You parked children behind a battlefield. Interesting tactic. Tariq leans forward. His screen fills with a thin, strange wave. He frowns, then pales. Captain, he says, I see a spike from their flagship. It is masked, very deep. It is not for us. It is, oh no. He pulls the signal apart with careful fingers. A nova torpedo. It is pointed at the convoy. Rhea freezes for a heartbeat. Then she moves. Aegis doctrine, she says. Disable, if possible. Protect the convoy above all. We do not hunt kills, we protect lives. Doctrines set, Aegis replies. Calculated non-lethal fire lanes. Permission to engage points of aggression. Permission granted, Rhea says. The ancient ship goes to work like a surgeon. Small guns whisper. Long beams kiss engines and turn them soft. Turrets melt. Sensor masts snap like reeds. Cruisers lose their teeth but keep their crews. In the ring of wrecks, bodies do not fly. Instead, ships drift, alive but quiet. Enemy pilots stare at dead screens with shaking hands, heart still beating. On the big screen, Vec keeps his smile, but his eyes go wide at the edges. He lifts one hand where no camera should see and cuts it down like a knife. Somewhere deep, in his flagship, a hidden crew pulls a cold lever. Tariq's voice turns thin. The Nova torpedo is hot, he says. It has 4 stages and a star-core seed. If it reaches the convoy, the moon will crack, and the people will burn in the light. How long? Rhea asks. 31 seconds, Tariq says. He swallows. It is accelerating. Rhea opens her mic. Admiral, stop that torpedo, she says. I have disabled your ships with care. I have spared your crews. Do not make me choose the other way. Vec's face shows no mercy. You will not fire again, he says. You are relics. You are tired myths. Watch your own failure. The bridge feels smaller. Rhea hears the thin, steady beat of Aegis's core and the thicker beat of her own blood. She hates this part. She hates the edge where talk ends and the hard choice begins. She looks at the convoy window. In one freighter, a child pushes a hand against a porthole and draws a little circle in the fog on the glass. Aegis, Rhea says. Options. 3 options, Aegis answers. 1. Place the dreadnought between torpedo and convoy. We survive. Convoy does not. 2. Intercept with kinetic spread. Probability of partial fail, 29%. 3. Deploy Sunlance at low aperture. Probability of full neutralization, 99.8%. Collateral risk to enemy fleet, high. Rhea looks at Tariq. He looks back, face drained. He nods once, tiny, not a soldier's nod. A human nod. She opens the channel to the fleet one last time. Stand down, she says. I will fire to protect civilians. Some voices answer. Hold, one captain says. We did not sign for this. Another ship powers down. A third swings away. It's not enough. The torpedo keeps coming. Time. Rhea asks. 14 seconds, Tariq says. Rhea sets her shoulders. Aegis, she says softly. Protect them. Affirmed, the AI replies. Panels slip back. A long slit along the Aegis spine opens like an eye. Not bright, not huge. Simply there, where old Terran engineers left a gift for a hard day. The Sunlance charges. Space seems to tighten round the ship, like a deep breath is pulled and held. Across the coalition net, panic flickers. The myth, someone whispers. It is real. Others shout orders. Guns aim, hundreds at once, trying to drown a sunrise with pebbles. Recommend crew brace, Aegis says. Recommend safe posture for nearby biologicals. Rhea squeezes. The rail, all hands, brace. The torpedo races closer. It carries a small star in a bottle and a cold idea of victory. It is brave in its way, blind in another. 7 seconds, Tariq whispers. His voice shakes now. 6-5. The Sunlance focus sharpens. In the forward window, A thin line appears where nothing was. It is the color of no color. It is a cut in the night. Vex shouts, "Fire everything." Light blooms from the fleet beams, slugs, heat. The sky becomes a field of thrown stones and broken glass. The dreadnought does not move. It holds the breath. It waits for the exact number. Aegis counts the atoms between the ship and the convoy and the torpedo and the flare to come. 3, Tariq says. Rhea closes her eyes for one blink and opens them again. "Do it," she says. To Aegis says, "The beam is not loud. It is not a roar. It is a decision written in light." 1. The beam writes itself into the dark. It touches the Nova torpedo first. The bottle around the small star shatters without noise. The star does not get a chance to wake. It becomes clean vapor and math. The beam passes through the empty place. It leaves and keeps going in a straight, calm line. Every ship in its path sees the same thing. A white thread crosses their decks. Metal softens. Armor parts like butter under a hot wire. Guns sag. Reactors fall quiet instead of wild. The beam does not chase blood. It cuts only what can kill. Aegis lowers the power a little and keeps the edge sharp. Primary danger neutralized, the AI says. Secondary threat lanes open, adjusting. On the convoy camera, nothing explodes. The school ship still floats. The child at the window opens wide eyes and draws another small circle in the fog. Rhea lets out a breath she did not know she held. It comes out as a shiver dot across the coalition net. Voices stumble and trip. What is that? Pull back. Hold formation. Orders crash into each other like waves in a small harbor. Some captains cut engines and drift. Some flee. Some, proud or scared or both, push closer and try to be heroes for a cause. They do not understand. Rhea keeps her tone even. All coalition ships, she says, we are not hunting kills. We are leaving. Stop firing and see your crews home. Vec ignores her. He pushes his face right up to the camera. His eyes burn. You call that mercy, he says. You cut my fleet in half. You pointed a star at children, Rhea says. No heat in her voice, only truth. Stand down. He taps a control. His flagship shifts position and drives straight at Aegis. No missiles, no beams, just mass and speed. A steel fist with a crown thrown to crush, Aegis, Rhea asks. Predicting ramming course, the AI says. Folding space by 3 meters will avoid impact without harm to either hull. Do it. There is no flash, no drum. The world slides sideways by the width of 2 hands. Vec's ship roars through the spot where Aegis was and finds only cold vacuum. It passes by with a scream of metal stress and goes dark. Its engines trip off one by one, confused and tired. The flagship drifts. Aegis returns to the exact same place in space, like a coin set back on a table after a trick. Collision avoided. Enemy flagship disabled non-lethal. For a long moment, the field is quiet. Small fires burn out on broken decks. Escape pods blink. The convoy hides behind the moon like a family behind a stout door after a storm. Rhea lowers her shoulders. She could ask Aegis to finish the job. She does not. Open every wide channel, she says. Human and coalition. Open, Aegis says. This is Captain Rhea Cole, she says. Earth seeks peace. We will defend ourselves and our people. We will protect civilians. If you drop your guns, we will not fire. If you need rescue, we will help. She nods. To Tariq, he sends corridors. Bright green lanes appear on the tactical map, clear paths through wrecks and drift for lifeboats and tug ships. He adds beacons on the hulls that still have breath to spare. One by one, some enemy ships power down. Weapons? A medical cruiser flashes a white code and asks permission to move. Granted, Rhea answers. She even sends 2 drones to guide it through the tight places. A small frigate cuts thrust and turns its belly to show it will not fight. Another follows. Fear loosens its grip. Pride loosens slower, but it loosens too. Vex snarls on a weak channel. Do not take her mercy, he says to his fleet. She is baiting you. No one answers him. A junior officer on his bridge looks at the ruin outside, then at the old warship, holding steady. And then at Vec. The officer quietly powers down the flagship's last angry light and switches to emergency beacons. Rhea hears a new sound from behind the moon. It is many small sounds together. Relief ships cheering. The convoy sings through clicks and tones and claps on metal. She lets herself smile for 1 second. Then she puts the smile away and checks the board again. The job is not done. Any more hidden weapons? She asks. Tariq scans deep. I see no Nova seeds, he says. I see decoy packages and hot tempers. No new threats. Good, Rhea says. Start rescue. Prioritize ships with failing life support. Ask for consent before docking. If they refuse, respect it. Aegis deploys rescue pods with clean grace. Arms extend from the dreadnought's sides, gentle and long, like the ship remembers being a harbor as well as a sword. Drones carry medkits. Tugs push burning junk out of lanes. On the coalition side, a captain with silver skin and tired eyes comes on. Terran captain, she says, we drop weapons. We will take our people and go. We will mark this day in our logs as a warning. Mark it as a choice, Rhea says. You chose to live and to let others live. The captain nods once and cuts the link. Vec uses his last clear channel to spit one more line. This is not over, he says. You woke a ghost. The great powers will not allow it. You will be hunted. Rhea looks at his face. She thinks of the child's circle on the glass. She thinks of the beam that cut only what could kill. Then tell your great powers this, she says. Do not mock what you do not understand. Do not aim stars at children. We defend. We prefer peace. He has no answer. His screen goes dark. Minutes pass. They feel like hours. The field grows quiet. Tugboats from the convoy help ferry wounded. Coalition. Medics, once enemies, work next to human medics without talking about it. The old warship watches with its shield low and its guns cold. Tariq rubs his eyes and stares at a line only he can see. Captain, he says softly. What is it? Rhea asks. A signal, he says. Deep, old. It comes from far beyond. This sector, it comes through a path no one uses anymore. The code is Terran, not Navy. Older than Navy. Rhea moves to his console. The signal is a slow pulse buried under noise, like a lighthouse under fog. It carries a short phrase. He cleans. The phrase until the words step out. The words are simple. Recall, acknowledged. You are late. Aegis hears it too. For the first time, the AI pauses longer than a breath before it speaks. Captain, Aegis says, this code predates my commission. It suggests other Terran assets. Dormant, possibly many, possibly awake. Where? Rhea asks. Aegis paints a faint line on the star map. It points away from the graveyard, away from the convoy, away from the happy noise of saved lives. It points into a quiet arm of the galaxy where maps are thin and rumors are thick. Tariq swallows. Do we go? He asks. His voice is small. His eyes are big. Rhea looks at the convoy. She looks at the coalition ships limping home. She looks at the ruin and at the peace they made on a day that tried to be war. She thinks about duty. She thinks about fear. She thinks about the way the dreadnought came alive when a human hand asked it to. She speaks on the wide channel one more time. To all ships, she says, we are leaving the field. Follow the green lanes. Help each other. Do not return to mock the dead. She closes the channel. She turns to Aegis. Can the convoy make it without us? Yes, Aegis says. They will. I have seeded guides and warnings into the lanes. Rhea nods. Set a course, she says. Low profile, no grand entrance. We will see who called us. Course laid, Aegis says. The old hull hums. The scars from today. Cool. The sunlance goes dark and quiet again, like a secret sleeping. Rhea sends a small message to the convoy. Thank you for living. She signs it with her name. The dreadnought turns its long nose toward the quiet arm. The stars ahead look calm, but calm can hide teeth. That is fine. They have hands. They have minds. They have a ship with a heart like a steady drum. Jump. Rhea says. The world folds. The graveyard falls away. The signal grows a little louder. Behind them, the green rescue lanes keep shining until the last lifeboat is safe. Ahead of them, the old Terran code pulses again, patient and sure, like a door knocking from the other side. Aegis whispers into the bridge. Not for the net, not for the enemy, not even for the log, just for the crew. Earth seeks peace. The AI says, as if repeating a promise the ship once heard from a builder long ago. We defend. Rhea rests her hand on the rail where the ship's blue veins glow. Yes, she says. We defend, and the ancient warship carries them. Into the dark, awake and unafraid.